How old are you?
44.
I'm 40. Do you know how young we feel? When you were 26, did you ever think that this is what 44 felt like?
No.
You thought that was finished?
Yeah.
How old are you? Like, you think a 40-year-old, like, when I was 25 years old, I thought a 40-year-old was finished. I don't even feel like I'm starting, right?
Yeah, but when I was 26, I was in a rush.
I understand.
And all of those guys and girls on the streets last night, when you say that to them, like, their face kind of goes blank, because all the stuff they watch, MTV, music videos, it's all about the bling now and the this now and the this now.
You know, and MTV is tamed. You start following people on Instagram and it's a disaster. They're all pushing, like, you know, it's all about champagne and private planes and you can get it too and just sign up for my course, like, and everybody's falling for it. So I'm coming out and first of all, I want to be historically correct. Nobody in 100 years is going to watch that video and say that I was full of crap. I like that. Right? Number two, I want my legend to grow. I'm always fascinated by politicians and world figures. Like Winston Churchill, his brain continues to grow, right? I want that. When I'm dead, I want to be in the ground at peace knowing my legend's growing. Like, I want that. I want that in the business world. And so I'm giving real advice, and real advice looks like this. When you're 19 and you can spend 7 full years learning your craft, meeting people that are mentors, being patient, and you wake up and you're 26 years old, you have your entire life in front of you and you've done great foundational work to go on and then be successful.
You know, I have bad luck too. I've had financial crashes. I've had people stab me in the back, but they're all good because I grow from it. That's spirituality. You know, people who are afraid of making mistakes, like they teach in school, they don't ever grow. Because spirituality is there's good and there's bad, there's right and there's wrong, there's up and there's down. Most people only want to be right. They only want to be positive.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another beautiful, blessed, and grateful day. June 16th, 11:05 on a Thursday, middle of the month. We are coming towards the last couple of days, finishing up the first half of this year, and then we've got the second half ready to go ahead and take full advantage. So with no further ado, I've got a phenomenal training for you guys today on the mindset of high achievers. I'm going to go ahead and differentiate the difference between the wealthy and the rich, right? So you can truly understand the goal is we are not going after rich. The goal is to be absolutely wealthy and leave a long-lasting generational impact. So before we go ahead and dive into the day, what are you grateful for? Let's go ahead and drop it down below. Grateful for God, grateful to be alive, grateful for healthy, grateful for all the momentum, grateful for the abundance, grateful for the lessons, right, for both sides, because we're able to learn and grow from whatever it is that is on our plate for the day. So let's go ahead and get into it for today on a Thursday. Here we go. All right, so my topic for you guys today is going to be the difference between the wealthy and the rich. Okay, so if you think about it, when you truly identify and you get down to the root of it, a lot of individuals that become rich, you see the big difference between the rich and the wealthy. The rich side is they're doing nothing but taking, right? They're doing a lot of taking. But you'll notice with wealth, there's a massive difference as we start to get into this. So get out your pen, get out your notebook, and this is going to be a training to remember. All right, so here we go. Wealth. When we're thinking about wealthy companies, okay, if you think about any massively wealthy individual, let's throw out a few names. Who can you guys think of? Let's think of somebody like Gandhi, somebody like Marcus Aurelius, right? All of these individuals that you guys can truly think of that led a lasting impact, that's exactly what they did. The reason was they gave value, right? They were a person to be a light for other people. So when you go through this training today, rich and wealthy, this is going to be the number one underlining topic. The rich does a lot of taking, right? A lot of things for me. The wealthy is all about we. How can I give back? How can I truly help the next individual get by and level up? Okay, so this is important. So if let's just go ahead and role play a scenario. Okay, if $1 billion flows into your life, what changes right now? Your attitude, your gratitude, the way you walk, the way you talk. So I want you to, now that you've imagined that, what is the difference between that happening spiritually or that happening physically? Why can't you start moving and acting like that right now? Why do you have to wait for this to happen for you to feel confident, for you to actually put your shoulders back and your chest head up, for you to actually speak out there with conviction and voice inflection? Why does that have to happen for you to go ahead and obtain those characteristics right now? First thing I want to talk about, okay? Second thing, and this is why, and what I just showed you, this is all about state, right? How to put your brain in state. So if you can think that fast to be able to put your brain in state, this is how you can use it to work against you, or you can have it work for you, okay? So think about, if we're thinking about vibration, we're thinking about different levels of frequency. How many different shades of a color is there? Okay, if we're looking at purple, you realize there's all of these different shades. So here's the point, okay? All of those different shades is like different samples of each color. So if you see different samples, you know what I mean of a color, if you know what I'm talking about. Here's the difference when it comes to wealth, okay? A lot of us, we're not sampling what wealth actually feels like. What does it feel like to stay in a 4 to 5-star hotel? What does it feel like to actually go in an elegant restaurant? What does it feel like to go ahead and go to an exclusive access beach? What does it feel like to drive in one of your dream neighborhoods? All of these different things, believe it or not, is a sample of wealth. How you can start getting an idea before it happens, right? Getting around the energy, getting around the frequency, maybe even before you get to that level. Even for me, that's why I started going to events, because individuals had a different level of frequency that I might not have been on yet. But that's why they say high tides raises all tides. Okay, so if you get around it, it's going to raise your energy and belief as well. So this is where it all started for me. Getting around individuals, learning from Tony Robbins, learning from the Les Browns, learning from individuals who have seriously obtained wealth, and it started to rub off on me. Okay, so think about this. This is where the shift changes for today. This is where I really start having you thinking different. When you think about just like the different samples of purple, how you can start to picture ideas of visualization. I want you to now give me a visualization. What does a visual look like of wealth to you? What does wealth actually look like to you? You see, when most people, when they ask that question, you're going to start thinking about money. The first thing that comes to mind is money. But what if I got you thinking about it in a different way? What if you were wealthy in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your finances, right? In your faith? This is the type of wealth that you need to truly be aware of, because here's what I've come to learn. This is really where it starts, okay? In fact, if you think about it, if you ever saw somebody in a bar, okay? If you ever were at an event, maybe you went out somewhere and you noticed somebody from across the room, okay? And you're in awe, you're admiring them. It could be their figure, it could be their aura, it could be just something about them that's caught your energy, and you're just staring at it, right? You're completely submerged in whatever it is that you're looking at, and all of a sudden they look at you, and the second that they make eye contact with you, you look away. You see, as we learned it this morning, this is what happens to a lot of individuals when they're going after their dreams. You're staring at it. You want it, you think about it here and there, but when your dreams actually come back and stare at you, when you get an idea of the work that needs to be done, the changes that need to be made, you know what a lot of us do? We look away. We go right back to our old self. We go right back to curling in a ball, kind of like a cowardice dog, right? A dog that's scared where all they can do is just bark, bark, bark. You know, there's a quote that was said this morning that completely shifted the way I thought about a lot of things, okay? And it talked about when you're thinking about a cowardice dog in the corner, all they can really do is bark. Well, here's the quote I want you guys to think about. Okay, and this comes with no longer speaking in poverty, no longer speaking in lack. Right, wealth, you're going to notice, is all about a vibratory state of thought. Okay, so when it talks about of cowarding, it says, God will not let his word be manifested by cowards. 11:11, paint your vision. Perfect timing. God will not let his word be manifested by cowards. And for a lot of us, that makes us realize how small we're really playing. Because if you look at the word wealth, and then you look at the word LY, The ly to any word, what does that do? It adds action behind the word. So if you're looking at the word wealthy, when I ask you, are you wealthy? What kind of wealthy do you start talking about? What kind of answer do you start to give me? Is your first answer no? You start thinking about money. When I ask you, are you wealthy? Let's try this again. Are you wealthy in your mind? Are you wealthy in your body? Are you wealthy in your spirit? Okay, this is the type of wealth that anybody can attain before you even start thinking about the money. Okay, so what would you give and have with more? You see, we only want more when people get sick. We ask the question is, who is the best individual? Who's the best doctor I can go ahead and find for my sick grandmother? Right? You want the best of the best whenever somebody's sick, whenever somebody's struggling, whenever somebody breaks a bone, right? When your child breaks a bone, you want to find the best doctor, the best individual to help them with whatever's going on. Well, let me ask you this. Why do we have to wait for somebody to be sick, for something to go wrong in our life, to go out and search for the best of the best? Don't we deserve the best of the best in our life right now? Instead of waiting to be sick, why don't we step into that right now? Because as you start to go through life and you get old enough, you're going to realize there's 2 days that we die. There's the day that we actually pass, and there's the day that our last name is actually talked about. Don't you guys find it weird how you don't know who your great-great-grandfather is? You've never seen a picture of him. There's no pictures of them inside of your house or on your walls. I'm going to be honest with you. That's something that I always had questions about, but I never really talked about until I got older and I started to realize the only reason that is because they didn't leave a long-lasting impact. They didn't leave a generational dent to go ahead and make that name worth knowing about, worth actually talking about. And that really makes you start to think, because here's what I know. If you look at your last name, if you go back and look at your lineage, somewhere inside of your lineage, there's individuals that were great. You have greatness inside of you. I guarantee you, without a fact. You might not know it. You might not have just gone back far enough yet. But the truth is, you have that inside of your lineage. So that means it's inside of you. You don't have to go look for it. You don't have to go find it. Believe it or not, it's been inside of you the whole time. And the second you start to realize that is the second that you start to take your life, your time, yourself very seriously. Because you start to realize that you are worthy, you do matter, and you can actually leave a long-lasting impact to the world with your ideas, your skills, and your talent. Because what we think about most, what we think about, we bring about. So to go ahead and end it off like this, most individuals, and this is where this is the end of the training. This is where it really started to hit me. Okay, pay attention. How many individuals do you know that go out and say, I wish my relationship was better with my family. I wish I was going out and making more money. I wish I had other streams of income. I hope I can go ahead and get better in my life. I hope I can go ahead and get to the next stage. How many individuals do you know that are like that? Well, you know what's interesting about all of the words that we just brought up and that we just said? This is why words are very powerful, because if you think about it, we're planting a garden of wanting, wishing, and hoping, and now we have a whole garden of that. So how many individuals do we know in our life that are like that? All they're doing is wanting, wishing, and hoping for life to change, and they're wondering why there's nothing happening. Because their whole life is just full of wanting, wishing, and hoping. Let me go ahead and give you the perspective shift. Instead of those three, what changes when you start declaring, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am an individual that can go ahead and make an impact on other people's lives today. I am a light in the darkness. Many are called, but few are chosen. Thank you for choosing me. That's something that I write every single day. That's something that I truly believe in. Many are called, but few are chosen. You are chosen, but you got to be able to believe it. You're not born just to live and exist. You have a last name. You have a unique thumbprint for a reason. So the next time somebody asks you if you're wealthy, you say absolutely, because you are. You're wealthy in your mind, your body, your spirit, your faith, your society, and last but not least comes your finances. But if you can understand that you already have it first, this is where the transformation begins. And I'll leave you with this, okay? Mother Teresa, you know what she said? It said about Mother Teresa that she understood that her wealth did not start after the day that she died and she left a long-lasting impact. It started that the day she made the decision to go ahead and leave an impact in the world. I'm going to say that again. She did not become wealthy after she died and left her long-lasting impact. She became wealthy the day that she decided that she was already wealthy. So my question is for you is, are you already wealthy? Is it already there? Can you already feel it? And are you wealthy in all 5 to 6 of your pillars? That's my question for you today. If the answer is yes, let me see you go out and walk like it, talk like it, give gratitude like it, give love like it, show your family that type of wealthy mindset. And watch how much that ripples off into the world. Because you know what the truth is? Everybody's thinking it's just about money. But the truth is, if you're only thinking about money, if you're only thinking about you, you're only going to have enough for you. And yes, you can be rich. But the real fulfillment in life is to become wealthy, is to be able to give back, become the best version of yourself so you can inspire others to do the exact same. So family, with that being said, that's my training for you today. And I know for a fact that you are already wealthy. You just have to go ahead and meet me halfway and make the decision. So family, with that being said, it is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, or have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hands. Let's go ahead and make the month of June a month to remember. This is a summer to go ahead and look back and say, I am so thankful and grateful that I made the decision to become wealthy right here, right now, today. I love you, family. Let's grow. It's game time.